By refusing to engage, he, in effect, abdicated his role in the debate. In fact, after his opening speech, I thought, well, this debate is over. He doesn't have anything to say.
All the time spent going, he didn't touch on this, he didn't touch on that. This is the rebuttal period. I'm not supposed to do that in my opening. And so that was an entire waste of time, the entire thing.
What the negative speaker is obliged to do in a debate is to answer the case that the affirmative speaker has put forward. That is what debate is about. And so by refusing to engage, he, in effect, abdicated his role in the debate. In fact, after his opening speech, I thought, well, this debate is over. He doesn't have anything to say. Now, that doesn't mean that therefore one gets up and proclaims victory or anything of that sort. But you do point out to the audience, because the audience isn't taking notes, they need to be reminded of your points.
So look, my first contention remains unrefuted. Dr. White didn't interact with 1 Corinthians 10:13. He did not interact with my three-step syllogism. He did not interact with my arguments based upon 1 Corinthians 10:15. And he did not touch Ezekiel 33:11. He did not mention anything about what I argued, that if Ed is true, then Dr. White can't rationally infer or affirm claims of knowledge. He didn't touch the fact that if Ed is true, that he is a mere passive cog at the mercy of the whims of a god of mischief or a deity of deception. He said nothing about if Ed is true, that this does make God a deity of deception or a god of mischief. He says nothing about my argument that if Ed is true, that you have reason to doubt the Bible. He says nothing that if Ed is true, then you don't have assurance of salvation.
And review this in the audience's mind. And if he hasn't responded yet, you point that out and invite him in the rebuttal speech then to give his response.
In summary, using biblical data and the God-given tools of logic and reason, I've supported 4 key points demonstrating that Molinism is the correct biblical view of God's sovereignty. Dr. White still needs to demonstrate that at least one of my 4 contentions is false. Dr. White needs to demonstrate that the definition of Ed can be rationally affirmed and exegeted from the text of Scripture if he wants to show that libertarian freedom is never allowed in Scripture. And Dr. White must exegete that the way God predestines all things is via exhaustive divine determinism. Until he does all of this, Molinism is biblical.
He not only didn't respond in his opening constructive speech, but he didn't even bother to respond in the rebuttal speeches. He never got around to responding.
This is the rebuttal period. I'm not supposed to do that in my opening.
By refusing to engage, he, in effect, abdicated his role in the debate. In fact, after his opening speech, I thought, well, this debate is over. He doesn't have anything to say.